Hey guys, Zulir with a Mercenary King. With a Legend box opening. This is the third Legend deck. It's probably the best of them. Oh yeah. I think this is the perfect shield. Blaster Blade. Hip. Hip. It's got some cards in it, including some religious soul savers. And there's Aichi. Alright, let's open it up. Come on. This is not, by the way, just a Legend deck. This is a whole bunch of Legend decks. A box of them even. A case. It'd never be known that the Mercenary King doesn't spoil its... What the fuck? One of them's open. I don't like the look of this one. It's already open. Alright, kids. What? One of your boxes is open. I think it's just a manufacturer error.
Yeah.
Are all of these like it?
The box is sealed, too.
It's true. What's the number of the day, Ash?
The fifth?
The fifth?
I don't know, pick one.
Alright, kids, let's count to 5. You've got better luck than me anyway. Alright, we picked the 5th one, guys. Oh, no, I should show you this before I rip it open with my teeth. I'm not going to do that. I like my teeth. It's got the box. It's got the various cards in it. Religious Soul Saver. It's a Religious Soul Saver. There's got to be at least one Christian on their design team. Aichi also has, like, if you notice this looks like a priest's dog collar. I'm sure there's a metaphor in there. There's a metaphor in there, you fucks. Metaphor. Metaphor. This is nice plastic. See that? I threw it away. Alright, so this is what we got. Let's focus on the box first, because it's the one out there. We see Aichi Sendou. It's actually a really good looking box. I'm going to open it up and make it for you. Yep. It's got the next Soul Saver on it. It's got Alfred. It's got Blaster Blade Exceed. It's got Aichi. See you light. We just saw last week tonight with John Cuckington. And he cucked. Ooh, I should let you guys see this. Ooh. Just all day and all night. Just cucking. Something called Stupid Watergate, which I just find hilarious. It's like I get why they're worried about it, but at the same time, the president decides what's classified and what's not, so we can talk about whatever the fuck he pleases. He could just come on air and tell us what really is behind Roswell. Sadly, what's behind Roswell is experimental aircraft, I know. Which is really disappointing. Now, moon bases, the government keeps that secret and I won't talk about them. Just because, you know, I don't want to be like Wake Up Dead or something. So 2 Religious Soul Savers. This is actually a reprint promo, similar to how the Ace was. As usual, stride. Auto, Can Blast 1, choose a face down, copy face up. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, heart card with Blaster, pay the cost. 3 units, they get plus 5k, and then if you have Soul of 2 or more Blasters, it gets a crit. This is actually a really powerful card, and I'm surprised I haven't seen more of it. But the thing is that there's been no really good grade 3 Blasters besides Blaster Blade. Actually, it's only been Blaster Blade, Burst? No. What's the name of him? That 12k defense. Besides Majesty Lord Blaster. Like, it's Majesty Lord Blaster and some other fuck. What do you want, Ash? Okay. All right, so let's look at it, and it's not it.
But it's in that box that you threw away first.
I don't know. I hope not. Anyway, so that's just the promo. Oh, I should look at the other shit first. Here is a playmat. The playmats here are always a little bit better than the normal trial deck ones. Shit. I don't use this shit anyway, but I don't want to tear it up. There we go. Yeah. And then on the back, it's got a bunch of stuff like that, explaining just about everything in the game. That matters, though. Legion. Anyway. Looks like it's the history of Blaster Blade and Alfred as well. Which is pretty nice. It also describes some of the cards and rearguards that you can expect to have in this deck if you play it vanilla. Which... there's no way in hell I'm playing this thing vanilla. You can't play these things vanilla, guys. You can't. You gotta forge your own path and get it real cool. So this is the first guide. Sometimes I don't know why people taunt me with these things and they think it's funny. I don't understand it myself. It's like, well, you don't know how to play? It's like, fucker. Who the fuck are you to tell me that? It's like, we gotta play this. I'm like, get it out. Get it out of here. I know they're trolling me, but I don't understand the purpose of it. I don't know why. I mean, because it's funny. That's why you troll. I just don't get the trolling joke. Like, usually I get it. I don't usually get it. Alright, another one of those Aichi cards. I love these things with the clan cards and the symbols. They need one for Mega Colony. Make it happen. Do it. Then we have a 10k, 5k counter. I think we've gotten... this is the third one we've gotten so far. One in each Legend deck. A lot of people collect them. In my meta, anyway. So, how do I want to do this? G-Guards. Grade 2s. Oh, yeah, the one Blaster Blade. One Blaster Blade. Hup. Alright, I'm just going to real quick forge it into a deck. Boop. Boop. I already talked about Soul Saver, but I'll put it in here. Do-do-do-do-do. I don't much care for Palamedes. I just kind of think that not much for him to do or be. He's just kind of there, and he just doesn't need to be there. You guys know what I mean? Marble. I do love this art. Alright guys, I reversed it into the normal formula that I do my deck profiles in. Let's start off with Blue Scud Barkle. Hey, Barkle's legal again. Auto Forerunner, Act, Rearguard, GB1, he's not legal. Counterblast one, put this unit into the soul, search your deck for one Alfred or Blaster, reveal it, put it to your hand, shuffle your deck. And that's fine. Honestly, Wingull Brave is the best card so far as a starter, just because everything's so Blaster oriented. Especially with some of the stuff that you can pull out. Honestly, I think I'll probably be moving, like, creating a full Blaster deck around him, just like I have a full Diablo deck, and a full Legend deck. Around him, and I might use this, I might not. I'll probably use the one Wingull Brave I've kept for myself. I'm selling the other ones online. They're like 35 a piece. Almost. They're getting there. And it's just a double rare from set 5 or whatever. Set 4. Set 5? I can't remember. Then we have some Nova Knight Lose, 4 of the crits. And Yggdrasil Inheritor Elaine. And I kind of like this look, but I don't know. There's a perfect shield for Lien coming out. And I want to love this art, but I'll show you the shiny bit of the art. I like this art almost, but at the same time I don't like it, and it's sort of putting me off. I don't know. I think I'll run her in this, just because, you know, might as well. But I you know, it's just, I feel a little confused by it. Pink Comet Flogel. Just so you know, they're changing the names of these things on purpose. Partly to keep them, you know, like Flogel can be used in certain abilities. But also, you know, to just provide some variety. No stands in this. We could have had a really nice stand instead of a Lou. Margle, put this unit into the soul. Choose Royal Paladin plus 3k. The classic. Shiny, crazy, exciting art. I actually like this art a lot. So, you know, I'm happy with it. Then we have 3 Little Tactician Marons. Auto, GB1, Counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, if you have an Alfred or Blaster Vanguard, you can pay the cost if you do search your deck for 1 card, call it to rearguard plus 3k shuffle deck. So you summon anything you want, and it comes down. You know, it's just, you just summon it. Anything you want. Search your deck for up to 1 card, call it to rearguard plus 3k. The only thing that they prevented it doing is chaining itself. And believe you me, there's ways to get around it. Especially with some of the cards I'm about to describe to you, as well as some of the stuff you can get in like an Alfred deck. I might actually just buy another one of these so I can have a bunch of these motherfuckers in various other Royal decks. Then we have 3 Knight of Benevolence K. Auto rearguard GB1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a unit with Blaster or Alfred on your Vanguard or rearguard, this unit gets plus 3k. Okay. So that's already pretty good, especially if you have a Blaster Blade on the rearguard circle, which you will. You will, because you're running Lou in this thing, and the Lou combos. When you upgrade it, when this unit is placed on rearguard, choose one of your Knight of Virtue Bedivere, same column as this unit, and it gets plus 2k. And if you choose a unit, you get a counter charge. Hey, guess who he synergizes with? This guy. So you summon him out, place him on rearguard, behind K, and he gets abilities. It's crazy how that works. Wingull Youth, oh, he's been around a long time. Auto rearguard, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard during a battle, this unit attacked or boosted. Top 7 for a Blaster Blade, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and if you put a card into your hand, put this unit into the soul. I don't really consider them very useful, just for the fact that there are so many different ways to summon out a Blaster Blade that it's not even funny. However, you can also summon out this grade 3. Add anything else that has Blaster Blade in the name. However, I just don't feel that he's as useful. They made him free. Just and not GB restricted, so he's actually playable. I just don't like him. Pop hates you. Choose a card from your hand, discard it when your unit is placed on G. Choose one of your Vanguards being attacked, and if you have a copy of itself in the drop zone, you can countercharge 1. This is just a G perf for everyone. It turns out that that one Knight of Perfection or whatever her name is no longer necessary. Just buy a trial deck. Legend deck. Blaster Blade. This is the classic. The first card ever. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. Auto. Counterblast 2. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, pay the cost. Choose an opponent's rearguard and retire it. When this unit is placed on Vanguard. So, you know, for grade 2. And then Auto. Counterblast 2. When this unit is placed on rearguard. If you have a Royal Paladin Vanguard, pay the cost if you do. Choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or greater rearguards and retire it. This guy's fantastic, and he's very expensive. That's all there is to him. He hasn't aged well, really, because the Counterblast 2 equal 1 retire isn't really the meta, isn't really the design anymore. However, just because of all the stuff that works with him, he sticks around, and Royal decks have always had a sweet spot for him. Then we have 2 Champion of Silence Galatons. GB1, this unit gets plus 5k guard. And then Continuous Vanguard Rearguard. If you do not have a Blaster Blade on your Vanguard or Rearguard, this gets minus 2k. So, he becomes an AK if you don't have a Blaster somewhere. But it's kind of hard to do that unless you're riding Gallatin himself. I don't really know why they gave him that skill. Like, I know why they wanted to give him the 10k defense, but there's Gold Paladins who do that with Unite, you know. Knight of Virtue Bedivere. One of my favorites. Auto rearguard GB1. This unit attacks a Vanguard. If you have a Vanguard with Alfred or Blaster on your Vanguard, this unit gets plus 3k. So, comboing up with him Both of these guys are 10k, 12k attackers, just like their original incarnations. Then his abilities, when this unit is placed on rearguard, choose one of your Knight of Benevolence K in the same column as this unit, and this gets plus 2k. And if you choose a unit, soul charge 1. So basically, like there's an Alfred that I think, no? Actually, you can't summon him with the Alfred Oath, I realize, because it doesn't have that certain card name, archetype that it uses. What is that? It's not... Anyway. Point is that there are ways to summon it out multiple times. You can do it with the Legion Alfred, you can do it with certain Blaster Blade cards, with, let me see here, can this guy summon things out? Nope. Huh. So basically this is from rearguard or from Marin, which is interesting in how it does it, because it looks like it wants a slow boost to the field advantage rather than a fast one, which Alfred Oath gives you. I think that's interesting. Anyway, Star Hope Trumpeter. Oh yeah, but this one. This is basically Marin. Auto GB1 Counterblast 1 when this is placed on rearguard from hand. If you have Alfred or Blaster, choose your deck for 1 card, call it to rearguard, plus 3k, shuffle your deck. Basically, you summon for this or this guy with Marin. Since you can basically, actually, interestingly, the most ideal play, let's say that you have a Blaster Blade, a Marin, and one of these guys running around, Star Hope Trumpeter. What you want to do is, play this plus 3k, and then you want to, then you want to summon out Marin to summon this guy out, because the counter charge is better. And actually, come to think of it, this guy, let's say that you have to ride Bedivere, he goes off. Because it doesn't matter where it is. Like, actually, the most ideal play is to not put him behind the Vanguard, but plan to put, like, him or somebody else behind the Vanguard, like him. Depending on what you do. Like, if you're going to ride him, definitely put him down just for a counter charge, if you've been using Counterblast so far. Just putting it out there. Not that I really... Actually, there's nothing that really uses Counterblast before GB anyway. So it doesn't matter too much. Man, there's like some combos in here that I can like see, but I don't see, and they don't show up too often. However, I know that this guy's useful against this, boosting this guy during when this unit rides on the Vanguard. Not that this guy gets a Vanguard ability, but I just noticed that there is a bit of synergy there, if only you use counterblasts beforehand. Oh, well. At least this isn't bad as Diablo, which has, like, almost nothing. Except for power columns. And weird shit. And summoning. Basically, this is Diablo with blasters. Like, I won't say the Legend, because the Legend was kind of shitty. Compared to it. Anyway. Enough mumbling to myself. But Dad, I love to mumble to myself. Stop it. It runs 4 Blazing Twin Blades Palamedes. This used to be if you have 2 or more grade 3s. This unit got plus 3k for a 13k attack, which is pretty strong. You might be like, oh, it's just a 13k attacker. Yeah, and it used to be $20. It used to be one of the most expensive cards in the game. Yeah. It was crazy times back then. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if the number of your other grade 3 or greater units is 2 or more, this unit gets plus 10k until end of battle. So basically, he's swinging for 21k if you have Legion with Alfred. Why would you do that, though? That's terrible. But basically, if you have a front row of this guy, it's pretty great. Blaster Blade does not count as a grade 3, so yeah. Blaster Blade Exceed. This is the avatar of the deck, I guess. Leader, Vanguard, main ride. Auto Vanguard Counterblast 1. Your G unit with Saber in the card name Strides. During your turn, you may pay the cost if you do. Search your deck for up to 1 Blaster Blade. Put it into your hand shuffle deck. Goes to hand. This guy goes to hand. And then as an auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, pay the cost if you do. Counterblast 1. Choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or greater Rearguards and retire it. Basically, this guy prevents you sniping their starter, which is, I guess, OP if the guy still has a starter. But still, being able to kill like a rearguard, an attacking rearguard, can be pretty hurtful early in the game, especially when you're just starting to play each other, you know, get stuff going. Yeah, so let's put these away. I'll focus on what an ideal deck setup looks like. I've already kind of talked about it, but let's just move on. Then we have Myriad Soul Saver. Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a hard card with Alfred or Blaster, Soul Blast 3, choose 5 units, 5 rearguards, and they get plus 5k. So it's powerful, but I honestly I'm not very excited about it. Part of the problem is that he has a Soul Blast 3, and while a lot of people are going, you know, well, it isn't a problem, and this guy soul charges. Right, but there's actually very little soul charging, ultimately. There's Margles, which are -1 to hand, or you wasted something getting him out of the deck. And then he doesn't do anything as soul. Like, there's only one card that really soul charges in this deck, at least the rear guards. Because remember, only Bedivere soul charges, and then of course your starter soul charges as well. So when you ride all the way to Exceed, you have 3 cards in soul. If this guy is sniped, you have to rely on Bedivere to refill your soul. If you run Alfred Oath, you spend a soul, otherwise you miss out on like 2 summons for Swordsman of Light. That's the name of the archetype that it uses. So it's like there's a lot of... I can see that they're trying to keep this card balanced, but the problem is that compared to some other cards, it's fairly unplayable, especially if you have an Alfred. Just go into Holy Squire Dragon. Like, giving out plus 4k, like if you just have a normal column of this, you swing with it. It's 19k. With the Holy Squire Dragon, it turns into 23k, or it... or 26k if you've got, like, if you summoned one of these things out with Marin or Starhope Trumpeter. Like, it's one of those things where I can see why people think this is good. However, it also intrinsically knocks out certain other abilities with it. Now, of course, you can refill the soul from Alfred Oath and others. However, I do not think it's ideal. You know, I just don't think it's ideal. And I think there's going to be other things that use a little bit of soul, just a little bit, but enough to keep you from playing this too much. I'd really be surprised if he shows up too much. However, he is an excellent first stride if you do have a deck like this one that does not use too much soul. Also, well, I'll talk about the rest of the flaws with this deck later. And then we have Alfred Holy Saber. Act Vanguard once per turn, Counterblast 2. GB2, Counterblast 1. Turn a copy of itself, turn it face up. If you have a hard card with Alfred or Blaster, choose one of your rearguards with Blaster Blade in the card name, and until end of turn, it gets plus 3k, and during the first battle this turn, this unit performs Twin Drive. So, basically, it gets you an extra 2 cards. For Counterblast 1, discard 1 card. So, you choose Blaster, any Blaster, and it gets Twin Drive when it attacks first. So it's basically a much cheaper Shibaraku Buster. I want to point out that this card does not use Soul. And as well as this card paying for it, summoning it directly up. As well as you having to spend these from hand to get cards from deck for this. You know, that's the long and short of it, honestly. Like, I think that more than Soul Saber, that this is the main card. This is the main Strider that you use multiple times. You're like, yeah, but you can use it twice. Yeah, well, you can use this twice. If you want to spend the 3 Margles from hand and re-ride Exceed. Well, you re-ride Exceed and then you spend 2 Margles. I've already talked about her. the dragon with tits. Great Flash Assault. When this unit is Assault. Auto Counterblast 1 that you place on G if you have a Vanguard with Alfred or Blaster. This unit gets plus 5k for each of your rearguards until end of battle. This card is a fantastic G-Guard. I love it to death. Because if you have a full field that's plus 25k for a 40k defense, that's 51k. That's about Dime Robo level. Alright, like, you'd be pretty hard pressed to meet a Vanguard that didn't hit it. Like, this is DI, Ammon, Gilderay with boosted by a Enigmatic Assassin. I already mentioned Dark Regulars. This is like, this is a lot of things. Like, this is just so much card. You have 51k defense, or more, is just absolutely fantastic and wrecks a lot of faces. The reason why they gave it to Counterblast is because it was just too OP, and honestly, there's enough unflip in this deck to be okay. So let me just show off an ideal field and ideal turn order. I'm not going to bother with the writing, it doesn't matter too much, but let's assume that you didn't get your Blaster Blade in the Soul. So just for shits and giggles. You guys still with me? Good. We'll leave the rest of the stuff around here. And I think I've got everything else. Oops, I could do the shiny one instead. Alright, so... So here's what it looks like. Here's how you want your first turn to go. Like your stride turn to go. We're going to do this. Like Counterblast, blah, 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 blah. Stride over this. Use this, put it into Soul. By the way, you want to be running him as your Vanguard booster. Just in general. So you can search out Blaster Blades for free. And it's a lot easier for them to take a Vanguard than it is a Rearguard after they've taken a Vanguard. So basically, this is what you want your field to look like, because you can't use these guys in GB. Like, if you want to play a field, sure, but just remember that you might be missing out on some things. So we've used 2 Counterblasts so far. This skill, that skill. You don't need to run any more Counterblasts, except we want to run him. So we put him out first, place this guy right here. You're at 4 Counterblasts. Sorry, 3 Counterblasts. Counterblast 1, summoning out this guy, put him right here, countercharge 1. So you're basically, in this ideal setup, you took 4 damage last couple turns, which is, you know, if you're facing a deck like this, you're going to be probably taking that much, because it's a crit-focused deck. You know, it's a lot of damage and a lot of things you can put out there. The countercharge is nice. Like, even if you don't have to run these, you know, just this column get plus 6k, plus the 9k, I mean, sorry, it's up to 9k. So, plus the 2 5Ks you get from this, so it's 19k to this row, which is 35k. Yeah. Because it's 22, 25, because you get the plus 3k from attacking. 35k. But you don't want to start with this, you want to start with this. We Soul Blast 3. By the way, the reason why I put the G unit in there is actually it's an ideal ride. You put it in the Soul, and automatically when you need to start perfing things, it's there for you. This. Swing with this. Now, your opponent is probably not going to be at the same level of damage, so they take it. We look at top 7, pull out a Blaster Blade. Ayo! We have our Stride Fodder for next turn. Yeah, that's what it is. Because we didn't use any Counterblast to, like, put a Blaster Blade in Soul because we only had 4 damage, you know. Let me think. And we already put one in hand through the starter's ability. And we only have 1 Blaster Blade to summon out. What a pity. We better be careful with it and not let it get, say, Denial Griffin. That would be horrible. It's horrible. If it was Denial Griffin. Or Hetero Rounded. or skeleton cannoneered, or anything else. Or hit with a Mega Colony stun or something like that, you know? There's like just any number of things that can be done to this one Blaster Blade. It almost guarantees the secondary market of Blaster Blades is going to remain, in a word, healthy. So you swing with this. Everything got plus 10, every column got plus 10k, basically. This only got plus 5k. And then you swing with this one. So this goes away. So what you want to do is you want to intercept with this sometime to block an attack. And then next turn we discard this to stride. Summon out Alfred! Yay! Place him here. Cannon Blast 1, flip over it, give it plus 3k, Twin Drive, boop, boop. And then you actually want to put like the stuff right here or something, I don't know. Swing with the Alfred. So you get like, for -1 card, you get +1. Or 2 if you get, or 3 if you get, draw triggers, but remember you can't really guard too well with draw triggers, so you know, just gotta be careful with it. Swing, and you just keep doing this until you run out of Blaster Blades or you get dead. Now I'm going to point out that this kind of hurts the Lu combo just a little bit with Blaster Friend and the Flogel, the stupid Flogel, compared to other potential builds of the deck. But honestly, I don't really view that as a flaw too much, just because of how it works. Honestly, this deck's pretty good. I think I like my Alfred Oath deck a bit better, just from the design aspect of it, because I was able to do a lot more with Alfred Oath than I was able to do with this Blaster Blade stuff, which is just, hey, get Blaster Blade, get Blaster Blade, get Blaster Blade. Well, I don't play it for Blaster Blade. I play it for Alfred. And running Alfred in a deck that's based around Blaster Blade kind of ticks me off. However, I do run Blaster Blades in the Alfred deck because it's too good not to use, which I think is kind of favoritism, you know? I'm still salty that Mega Colony only gets 1 support set a year, and sometimes we don't even get that if it's Legion meta. We just get a Legion. Just 2 cards. Just 2 cards. But, honestly, I like this. I like some parts of this deck. I like what this guy does. And that's it. Because in an Alfred deck that runs the Lu support, you can actually summon out a Blaster Blade that remains, then you call this out. You use this skill, and you just keep on going with it. Because you can actually get a decent amount of hand size and other things with the Alfred deck. That's how I'm going to be running this. Is how I'm going to be updating it. Honestly, I think overall this is better than the Legend deck, but it will not be as ground shaking as the Diablo build, even though this is fairly similar to it and can in fact run a lot of things of a similar nature. I think what cripples this deck a little bit is the fact that nothing else besides Blaster Blade and Blaster Blade Exceed really has the Blaster Blade name. I'm looking now, I just don't see it. So because it doesn't have the Blaster Blade name, like certain things or Blaster name support are going to look great. However, I think that this is the single best entry point possible for a new player. If you have somebody and you want to get them into the deck and you want them to get them into the game and you want them to have, you know, I'm not going to say equality, but you want them to have a chance. This will be the deck for them. Like, I've built decks to have fun with that I then give to people, not give them, but I give them the design for it. And it's like, yeah, for $30 you can build this deck, and then like the Stride Zone's a Stride Zone. Stride Zone's always expensive. And, you know, what they do is they take that deck like Risers. I gave a Riser build to somebody recently. You know, they take it, it's like, you know, I like this deck, but it could be better. And I go, oh yeah, you know, this is just my build for me. Like, you gotta mix it up to something that you like. And once you have something you like, they're hooked in the game for a long time. You know, that's the end goal. You want people to be hooked in the game so they come to you to get their cocaine, I mean cardboard. You know, it's so bad. you know, oh, yeah, a blaster blade mint fresh. Anyway, there we go. I should have done it more like that. You know, this is the great good part for it. I honestly think that Vanguard has been kind of slowing down a little bit, and I think this really does a good job in picking it up again, as well as sort of just giving everyone an entry point. Everyone has a certain level of equality. I don't mean bullshit equality of, like, everyone's the same, but they're not. But I mean real equality. Like, just the fact that it gives you a blaster blade. Where's the blaster blade? Oh, no. Where are you? There we go. Gives everyone a blaster blade, some G-guards, some decent strides, some great strides, and these guys, who are absolutely fantastic. You know, it's everything you need. You buy 2 legend decks for about 25 a piece or whatever. Whatever your locals is selling them for. And all of a sudden they have this, as well as a little bit of trade bait with the extra G-guards, as well as the shinies, which they can replace for not shinies. I actually find it funny. People are like pre-buying like Blaster Blade Exceeds, just Exceeds, and for like 17 a piece. And I'm like, why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Anyway. There's not much else to talk about this deck. I've gone over the major combos. It's pretty simple, but at the same time allows for a decent level of variety. Gallatin's kind of meh, but I can see how you could use them. It's really a good way to teach people Vanguard. It's a great way to get new players into the game. And I think it's going to be a deck that will have dividends, much like Diablo, and much like the Legend Wish it does. Alright, this is Zulir, the Mercenary King, signing out. Have a great night, guys. Remember, May 20th, the stand-up series. Stand Up the Vanguard. It already happened.